Hi, Alon from International Cruiser. In previous video, I introduced Crown Iris, flagship of Mano Maritime, the only Israeli cruising company. I reviewed the ship's facilities, what makes it unique, but there's one point I didn't touch on, the history of the Crown Iris. And this ship really has quite a history and interesting one. So, a short intro and we'll get started. The Crown Iris began operating in 1992, 30 years ago, under the name Royal Majesty, with a cruise company, Majesty Cruise Line, which invested about $229 million in its construction. However, in fact, the ship's history begins even earlier, as it was already ordered in 1988 by a cruise company called Birka Line. But about a year later, in 1989, the shipyards from which the ship was ordered went bankrupt, and the construction was transferred to another shipyard where they demanded a higher price, which caused Birka Line to cancel the order. In 1990, Birka Line sold the ship's plans to Majesty Cruise Line, which ordered it, and as I mentioned, it was delivered 2 years later, in 1992. Since then, for 30 years now, the ship has changed hands many times. In 1995, the ship ran aground near Nantucket Island and got stuck. There were no casualties, but the ship was damaged. In summer 1997, Majesty was leased to Norwegian Cruise Line, NCL, and the ship's name changed to Norwegian Majesty. In 1999, the ship underwent extensive renovation and reconstruction. During reconstruction, a large section was added, increasing its length by almost 34 meters. After the addition, the ship's length grew to 207.1 meters. The ship continued to operate under NCL until 2004. In 2004, the ship was transferred to Star Cruises, where it operated until 2008. During its service, the ship's name was not changed. In 2009, it was sold again to Louis Cruises, and its name was changed to Louis Majesty. Today, Louis is a group that owns many assets in the tourism sector. The cruise company is called Celestial, but on some of the newer ships, you notice a new, more updated logo. In March 2010, while sailing in the Mediterranean Sea, 3 rogue waves struck the ship, resulting in the deaths of 2 passengers and injuries to 6 others. In 2012, the ship was officially transferred to Thomson Cruises, and its name was subsequently changed to Thomson Majesty. Thomson was originally known as the cruise company TUI, but it officially changed its name to Marella Cruises in 2018, although it thoughtfully kept the familiar smile logo. In February 2013, 5 crew members were killed and 3 others were injured in a training accident that occurred in the Canary Islands when the lifeboat they were in during the drill detached and fell into the sea from a height of over 20 meters. The ship operated in the company until 2017. In 2017, the ship returned to service under a trade agreement with Louis Cruises, but by then, the company was already called Celestial Cruises, so its name was changed again to Celestial Majesty. In 2018, the ship was sold to the Mano Maritime. At first, they wanted to name her Princess Iris, but in the end, Mano decided to change the ship's name to Crown Iris, marking the first time since the ship's launch 30 years ago that the word Majesty is not part of its name. At the beginning of 2019, the ship underwent a reconstruction process at shipyards in Greece. The process included the complete redesign of all 750 guest rooms, the establishment of 5 new restaurants, and an upgrade to the ship's exterior design. After the upgrade, the ship's length reached 216 meters. And if you've made it this far, give the video a like because you probably learned something new. Also, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and click the bell, because it's clear you love the world of cruising. So where do we go from here? First of all, you can find the video detailing the Crown Iris here. Definitely worth watching. Another option is to continue to the next video that YouTube thinks you'll be interested in. So, what do you choose? And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel.